Joining me for today's interview is Henny, regional champion. Question number 1. What made you start playing Digimon?
Alright, so I have been a big fan of the source material, I'd say, for Digimon. I preferred it much over Pokemon when I started, or when I was growing up, I mean. I played quite a few of the Digimon World games, and also I think championship games or something. So
Which is
I
the
would
best
say,
Digimon game is the question now.
well, I haven't played Cyber Sleuth or Survive, so I don't have any experience with those, but my personal favorite would be Digimon World Dusk, because I played a lot
Ooh.
of that game growing up. Or an honorable mention would be Digimon Battle Spirits 2.
Oh,
Specifically
okay.
2, because I didn't play the first one. We only had the second one on Game Boy, so my brother and I played that one a lot as well. So one of those two, I'd say, has the most nostalgia.
Interesting picture. You can obviously see there's a generational gap between me and you then, because I'd say it's like, even though I've played World 1, I'd say that World 3 is probably the better RPG in my opinion. We don't talk about 2, and 4 just doesn't exist if you ask me.
The first one I played was Digimon World Dusk, and I did play the Digimon World before that one, afterwards, but I don't remember necessarily which one that is. I just remember seeing a Zulongmon, so that's the only one I have.
Everyone's got the dragon in, right? There you go.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, I played a lot of the games and I watched the source material growing up. So also funny because I did have interest in TCGs in general. Growing up, I played Hearthstone a little bit. I played Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit growing up, but not competitive in any way, shape, or form. So friends of mine wanted me, or it actually goes way back. So when the game was going to be released, a friend of mine told me about it and was like, "Yo, I'm going to pre-order boxes for Special Booster 1.0. Would you like to be interested in playing the game with me?" And I was like, I don't have the time for it because I was focusing on different parts and I was also like finishing up school. And I think it was during the beginning of COVID, so that was when I was finishing middle school / high school. I don't know the terminology for it in English.
For us, it would be like secondary school, but I think most people nowadays just call it high school. So yeah,
Yeah, the one you graduate when you're 18, that one.
high school. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So I was still busy with that and didn't decide to start. But I did follow it a little bit, and I watched Card Protagonist a little bit around the starter deck era from Gallopon and Ulforce. So I actually went to one of the game stores locally and I bought 2 decks each because I saw that they had the mem boost. So I was like, I'll get those just in case I want to start playing the game.
Good idea.
So some time passed, and the same friend asked me around the summer during COVID. He was like, "Okay, there will be a pre-release of BT9. Would you be interested in joining?" And I went to look up, okay, BT9. Let's see what it's called. X Record. I'm like, okay, because I also really liked X Antibody forms growing up. I remember when I played Yu-Gi-Oh on Dueling Book, or Dueling Network, it was called even back then. I made my username Omegamon X because I really liked the X designs way back. So I really wanted to join. I was like, you know what? Let's start. Sadly, I got COVID, so I couldn't go. But they went to the pre-release. I got some of the pulls they had, which included a pre-release stamped Gilmon X Antibody. So we'll get to that bit.
Beautiful card, especially in foil.
Yes.
The only way to
sure.
get it in foil still.
Yeah. So I got a few of the cards there as well. As I think a friend of mine gave me Gallopon X alt art as well because like I know you like Digimon, so here you go. You can have it because you didn't go. And then later that same week after they went and I went to hang out with them, I went to another game store and I saw they had EX2 boxes. And EX2 is Digital Hazard and it is Digimon Tamers. So I saw it and I was like, I'm gonna get a box of that. And that's how it started to roll because I got the Gallopon starter decks, I had EX2, a little bit of BT9, and that's enough to get you started on that. So that's what made me start playing Digimon.
Yeah, you had the Galamon itch by the sounds of it.
Oh yeah, of course.
So what is it about Digimon that keeps you interested in the card game?
So, like I mentioned, I have played a few TCGs before, and the thing that I prefer about Digimon is mainly the memory gauge, the memory system. It just feels very interactable and very back and forth. And compared to other games I played, the lack of a resource system which is comprised from your hands or mana or whatever, for me is more fun because it feels like you get You get to cycle more through your cards with Digimon, so you actually get to see most of your deck within the game, instead of the cards in your hand being very limited. Also, not having the search mechanic as Yu-Gi-Oh has to look through your deck, but only revealing top cards was also something that I found very interesting. And fun as well. So I think just the game mechanics in general, and yeah, mainly the memory system for me is very innovative, so I really like that one. And as well, just being a fan of the game and seeing how it progresses with new releases, new Digimon, new designs. So
Yeah, a lot of people do say that the memory system is very interesting because it is a very unique take on how the game should flow backwards and forwards, and you have to manage your own system while trying to figure out how to manage your opponent's system.
yeah, I think I think it's a YouTuber I watch. I'm not too sure if he said this before, but I recall vaguely that YouTubers mentioned that if Magic the Gathering was after Digimon, then a lot of TCGs would probably have copied the memory gauge system instead of the mana system that Magic introduced. Not too sure about that. It's just something I like to imagine. So, good design. I like that.
Yeah, a lot of people say it's a very good innovation of how the resource system should be, as most people would know. If you don't, Magic obviously is the first real TCG. It then essentially made how Pokemon is with its resource system of energy cards. Then Yu-Gi-Oh! The secondary game, because technically Carddass did the first one. Hi Bandai. Yu-Gi-Oh! Then obviously tried to do its own resource system without having to physically spend a turn drawing a useless card, as they'd say. So the resources was literally what you could draw. Pot of Greed, very good. And then obviously a lot of card games since then have tried to work out how you work that. Like you said, Hearthstone, every turn you gain an incremental amount of mana. Is it in that game?
Yeah.
So you get you start off with, is it 3 mana, then you go to 4, 5, and then say obviously try and make your scaling of your deck better. But yeah, a lot of people say, even if they've only really sort of took a peep at Digimon, it's like the memory system is just worlds better than a lot of the other ones.
Yeah, for sure.
So, as some people may know who are listening to you today, regional winner.
Yeah.
How was that for you? I know I've heard the story from before, and I think it's on the channel or was on Twitch or wherever we record that. Do you want to go through it again?
Yeah, sure, of course. So it was a regional for March 16th, earlier in 2024. It's actually the first regional that introduced the serial Omnimon card for Europe. So I remember I was driving to pick up my EX5 product, and I saw that, and the tickets went on sale that evening. But I was in the car, so I wasn't able to get them. So I missed out on them the first time. So I was like, okay, you know what? It's fine. It happens. So incidentally, I had a morning shift the day of the tournament, so I worked from 6 a.m. until 9. And I saw that there were some last ticket sales again because some people canceled. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'll try to get them. Sadly, I wasn't in time. So, 9 a.m. rolled by, and I was like, I'll just go head home. And I have 2 friends of mine that were playing, so I was like, I'll just hang out with them in the voice calls when they're in between games. But right when I entered, but when I was walking home, I saw that one more went on sale again. So I tried to get that one, and actually managed to get that one. So it's literally the last ticket that was available that I managed to get. So I also mentioned that I was, probably during the video, I also mentioned that I playtested Gallantmon a lot during each format because I just liked the deck a lot. But I wasn't confident in BT15 because I was getting my ass whooped by Red Hybrid at our locals. So I was like, okay, maybe I just have to play Levia and just see how that goes. But I deconstructed the deck, so I couldn't put it back in time. So I was like, you know what, we'll just whip the Gallantmon list I've been testing the past few weeks during BT15, and we'll see how it goes. It's lucky that I managed to get in anyway, so I'll just play my favorite deck and see what will happen. And I managed to go all the way, farming 4 Numemon matchups which I had not played until that day. So, yes, it was definitely a shock to me. I was winning a regionals or a big event was one of the milestones I really wanted to work towards in the game, but I didn't expect it to get it so soon. Since I started playing in BT9 and I won in BT15, so it was within 1 year or a little bit more than a year after I started playing. And to do that with Galladmon and having that, I guess, achievement that is Galladmon's first big regional win or top in general was really amazing. And I was still flabbergasted like the following weeks, and still thinking back about it, I'm like, wow, that was really nice.
So I feel like you gave a lot of people hope for Galladmon when you won that regional. Fun fact for those who don't know, because quite a lot of people who play Digimon didn't start at the beginning, they started after, I think, like BT5, was the first ever regional winner was a Galladmon deck for the pre-release, which was like the just before Christmas 2021. And that was run by Jaugen, who is also like a multiple region winner, but never again could do it again with Galladmon.
Oh.
So yeah, he's won 2 whole regional events. Technically a pre-release regional event, and obviously yourself. So yeah, it took a few years, but he came back. Now you also said your favourite deck is Galladmon, but is your favourite Digimon also Galladmon?
Yes, but I have to say that growing up, it did cost me some time to start liking Galladmon. And that's mainly because I watched the TV shows with my brother growing up. And we kind of have a thing of when my brother likes something, I don't want to like the same thing. So his favorite Digimon was Galladmon after watching Tamers. So I was like, you know what, I'll just like the other protagonist Digimon. So I really liked War Greymon, really liked Imperial Dramon, really liked like Agunimon line. But afterwards, when I grew up and I rewatched some of the shows, I was like, yeah, you know what, Galladmon is the coolest one, design-wise and personality-wise. If you also just look at the version of him in the Royal Knights or the one in Tamers, it's like, yeah, it's the coolest one. So I would definitely say that it grew to be my favorite and has been for a very long time.
The fun thing about the English version of Tamers, if this fact is true, is Stephen Bloom, my favourite voice actor, actually helped to write the English version of the script for Tamers, which is why some of the jokes are quite adult, for lack of a better word, but they're also very well done to sort of like design themselves around Digimon. And Stephen Bloom also voice acted Guilmon, as well as the evil guy from the Digimon network as well. But yeah, love Stephen Bloom. Stephen Bloom, if you're listening for whatever reason, love you, man.
Shout out.
Shout out Stephen Bloom, the best voice actor ever. No Ben Strong, whatever his name is, no Ichigo. It's always Stephen Bloom. And are you ready to run it back at this year's Bandai Card Fest, which I presume you're going to, but I never asked before this.
Yes, I will. I have my ticket, and I have been testing the Worlds format already. I am bummed out that we didn't get the Galladmon BT19 support in 2.0 for our version, so sadly I won't be able to play that. Spoiler, I won't play Galladmon. But no, I've been doing my best, and I've went to the past 2 World Championships as well. The one in BT11 format, I played Cross Heart. I think I went like 5-3 or something, or 5-4, so wasn't that good. The one last year in the Netherlands as well, I think I was 3-0 at some point. Had a tie, so I was 3-0-1. Then lost on stream, went 3-1-1, and then like lost one another to a good friend of mine. So after being more than X2, I was like, okay, I won't make it for Top Cut. So this year I'm trying to get Top Cut minimum, but I really want to go all the way and try to just get the best possible score I can get, just to see how much I improved through the year.
And good luck to you and everyone else going down there as well. I love going to finals. It's a great time. The atmosphere is amazing. Obviously, this year we're going to a different venue, which is more of a commercial venue.
I think, this year's venue is very nice, I'd say, because
I've never been there
before. I mean, I'm also going to the one in 2 weeks in the same place.
Spollen?
But I went.
No, Spollen.
Yeah.
Is it Spollen?
It's a.
Is it Spollen event?
Yeah, it's like Spellen Spectacle. It's like a big board game event in general. But I went last year or earlier this year, I don't remember, for a One Piece event, which was also the championships for One Piece, and it was really big, and it's just a very nice location and room to play. And they usually have it well organized, so I think it's an upgrade from last year, at least, definitely.
So nothing wrong with last year. It was nice to see everyone. It was a nice, peaceful event, I'm going to say, for the most part. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the big throwing the money around Bandai event we're going to have this year. And fingers crossed, we'll see you guys there. And have yourselves a great time till next time. So, Henny, thank you for being here. And we'll catch you in the finals.
Yes, see you then.